second part, I thought what I do is, this is a question which a lot of people ask me, how do you write a story? How does the story come to you? Is it that just when you sit there and relax and all of a sudden story pops up or something like that? Not like this person just like that. So I thought we will work together on a story. In 20-25 minutes, we will work together on a story. I will explain the process I follow, and then with your help, this is a story I am working on for my fourth book. My third book is a novel, which is a little bit philosophical in nature, and the fourth book is again a collection of short stories. So this is the story I am working on for this fourth novel, and I want it to be a story collectively written. So with your help, we will finish that story. And all that I will do after now. So the second part, I said, let's write a story together, and then this is the way I write all my stories, and it's no rocket science. And that's probably why my story is also no rocket science. So I start with a real incident, and then I apply a bit of poetic license to make the real incident look more realistic. And then I have to have some philosophy in every one of my stories, and Brennan would agree with that. And I would typically leave a question which is left unanswered. Those are the gray areas, whether your strict notions about right and wrong stops, and you have a gray area. And I would always leave a question in most of the stories with the reader to decide which side he would take. And so then add a touch of philosophy, and so that's how the way. So what I'll do is now I will tell you about an incident. I told you this is the story which I'm writing for my fourth book, and I'll talk to you about a real incident which happened. Then I will tell you also some poetic license I will use, and I'll tell you why and what changes I will make. And then I will take the story to a certain extent, and I'll give it to you to. I'll give you options, and I want you to come back to me and say like, this is the option I would prefer, and then I'll tell you what was my original option. Okay? I want a lot of interaction when we do this. Okay. So we'll start with. I'm sure most of you know where Montfort College is.
Yes.
All Madras was Montfort College, and this happened. So I'm going to the real incident, and I attended a training called Neuro-Linguistic Programming (NLP), conducted by a gentleman named John Hunter Murray. Australian gentleman. So I attended this training. We were 10 of us attending the training in Montfort College, and we had a couple of ladies also in there, and one girl around 32. I'll change her name. Her name is say Bindu. So it was one of those. This happened in April. So one of those warm April mornings. We started around 8 o'clock, and everybody reaches on time. And our Australian teacher is very punctual and is very particular that people reach on time. And Bindu reaches a little late that day. And we are all sitting in circle, and she comes to the door. And she comes with a bewildered look. She doesn't look okay. As an author, I can add a lot of visualization and stuff onto that to say how bad she looks in terms of her mental condition. So our teacher says, okay, John says, no, Bindu, you sit down, take a deep breath. And naturally, all experts on psychology will start to take a deep breath till your lungs go all the way inside and take breath. And then tell me what happened. Why are you looking so unhappy, so stressed out, so tense? And she says, she sat, and obviously we gave her a glass of water. She drank the water, and she said, John, I was coming by the metro train. And the metro train from MG Road I took, and there's this Vivekananda road station is there before it reaches it. Vivekananda station is there somewhere close to Montfort College. She said, I normally get down there and then I come to the class. And today I was in a compartment where there were not too many people. And I was sitting, and if you know NLP, there is this technique called you first observe everything which is happening around you, then start appreciating what is happening, then accepting, and all those things are there. So we have been asked to watch your surroundings and see what all things are there, then you will see things which you have never noticed. That's the whole idea. So he said, I was sitting in this train compartment and I was watching people. There were not too many. Then I saw a laborer, looked like a laborer from North India, maybe Bengali or something. A laborer, solid clothes, torn clothes and all. A laborer with a child, a 6 to 9 month old child. He's carrying a nice child. He was carrying a nice child. And then, like typical Robert Ludlum style, immediately I felt something was wrong. I couldn't put my finger on what was wrong, but something was wrong. Something just didn't fit. There was an incongruence in this whole scenario. There were not too many people. I sat, thought, then didn't quite click, so I got out. And I came out of the railway station. Then I got what was wrong. The kid was wearing a t-shirt which was United Colors of Benetton. It's a costly t-shirt. And the kid was looking well fed and didn't look at all like a kid belonging to a laborer. So I got panicked. Maybe like, and these are the days when the kids get kidnapped on a daily basis everywhere. So I got panicked and I didn't know what to do. So I am stressed. I went back to the railway station. He also got on at the same place. I went back to the metro station and checked, and he had already gone. And I came walking here, but I was worried. I don't know. So John says, so what do you want to do? I don't know. So this is where the real incident stops. Okay, what happened also, I'll tell you, she called the police. Obviously, she called the police station. They said, why did it happen? Vivekananda said, okay, that's not our jurisdiction. You call this other police station. So can you give me the number to the other police station? No, you look it up in the directory. That's what happened. And she called the other police station, filed a complaint saying that I've seen this, please check. They said they'll send a patrol around and see and all that. But nothing came out of it. Now that is what happened. Now I'll twist a little bit or take some poetic license to change it a little bit. First of all, I would, in all my stories I've tried to do that, I will make it mostly the characters to be my family members. That way I can criticize them without really getting beaten up. So I'll immediately change it to saying that, and I use my wife, my daughter everywhere, and I'll say it's my wife Santhya who was attending the train, and I was not in the train. So Santhya was in the train. Santhya went through this whole episode. She came on. And if it is my wife, I'll ask this first question, what will she do first? She will not run all the way to the trainer to ask this question. As soon as she gets out of the station, she realizes, okay, there was an incongruence in the way Nitya was carrying the kid. She'll call me. So she calls me. And what will I do? I say, what's your problem? You call the police, they are not going to do anything. Why are you wasting your time? First. So she will keep the phone down. Again, she will, so then I can use her character. She is somebody who cannot be put down very easily. So she will again call and say, I'm not feeling good, so I need to call. I need to do something. So I say like, no. If you call, what will happen? Police will come, you have to go to the station, you have to give a statement. Then they will get 10 people with kids, and you have to go every time to the station and you have to identify every one of them. What a waste of time. You don't have so much of time. I am not going to drive you around for this. So keep out of it. So at that time she calls again. This time I'll tell, okay, you're not going to listen to me anyway. I know. I've been living with you for so long. So that's the one. Now this kind of statement I cannot make if it's someone else. No, I can make it with my wife. So anyway, she is hell-bent on doing something. So I say, okay, if it pleases you, if it satisfies you, go ahead and file a complaint. Then, so that's the stage I am standing. Now I have to put in some philosophy there. So she will think in her heart. So it's not about that child. It's not about saving that child. It's not about your feeling of injustice of somebody kidnapping a child. It's about you. What is Ashok telling me? If it pleases you, if it satisfies you, go and file a complaint. So she gets really upset about the way I put it. But then I am a practical guy, so like, no, if it was me, I would not have done anything. But if it pleases you, go and file a complaint. It's only for you. You are taking all this trouble. Fine. Then she walks to our group. And she comes in. She goes to the same thing and she explains. And what does the teacher say? Like, teacher says, Sanjay, you sit down, have water, and you're okay. If you don't feel really good and if you want to call the police, go ahead and do it. If it doesn't leave your mind at rest, it's fine, you call. So there again she feels like, no, okay, it's not about the kid, it's not about kidnapping, it's not about all this, it's only about how to satisfy you. Fine, she calls the police. So that much is what happened in the context. Now I am going to extend it a little bit further. She goes, calls the police. Police actually goes and catches this guy. They find the laborer with the kid. They bring him to the station. Then they call her and say, Sandhya, ma'am, you need to come to the station and identify the guy. So she goes. She takes a auto rickshaw. And I ask a story, I can say like how the amount of trouble she takes for catching an auto rickshaw and haggling with the drivers. The drivers refusing to go to the police station because then you cannot collect extra fare. All that. I can do all that. And then she goes to the police station. She identifies, yeah, this is the guy, this is the kid. The policeman says, oh, ma'am, your work is done. You can go. We'll let you know if we need anything more from you. So this guy and the kid is made to sit in one corner. And 4 or 5 hours later, they call her again and says, we checked his credentials, he seems to be okay. We are planning to let him go. Do you want to say anything? She feels bad. I made this guy to sit with such a small kid in the police station for so long. And he's a laborer, probably his one day's wages is lost, so I need to do something. So she takes another auto rickshaw, goes to the police station, meets this guy, and gives him some 200, 300 rupees. As a token, she gives it. She gets out. And then the policeman, before that the policeman says, this guy is a laborer, he actually works for one huge house in Yelahanga. And his wife is admitted to this hospital here in a very serious condition. And that's why he was carrying this kid and coming out there. We checked with the hospital, his wife is there. We talked to her. We checked with his employee. He is fine. He said, yes, that's my laborer. And he also said, I had gifted him this shirt. Why did I give? He came and asked me, I have a son of the same age. He came and asked me, can I have this shirt? And I just gave it, that's it. Fine, everything tied up. She comes out. And then she says, like, okay, I did a wrong thing anyway, and I need to apologize to the lady also because the lady is in such a bad shape. Let me go and see her in the hospital is nearby. So she goes to the hospital. She goes to the hospital, goes to the lady and said, what happened? Your husband is coming here. She says, no, he's not coming here. He was expected to come, but some lady made some issue and he was in the police station and he didn't have lunch and blah, blah, blah. So he's not coming. But she's in very bad shape. And as she gets out of that room, the doctor tells her, you came to see that lady? She says, yes. At least buy her some painkillers. This could be her last day. She is in her deathbed, so she may not live. So at least buy her some painkillers to make sure that her husband also didn't turn up. He said he turned up in the morning, he never turned up. So she asked this question, doctor, what is wrong with her? She had cervical cancer and she has been in bad shape for 2-3 months. So then Sandhya asked this very important question. She asked, doctor, is it possible that she had given birth to a child in the last 1 year? And she says, the doctor says, no way. She could not have given birth in the last, why 1 year? Last 2-3 years she could not have. It was a cancer which is progressing. Then again it strikes Sandhya, something is wrong somewhere, it doesn't fit. So then goes back to the lady and the lady doesn't know she is in deathbed. So she will tell the lady, look, you're going to die. Before that you tell me the truth. Whose kid is it? And till then, the lady was always sticking to the fact that it was my child, my husband. And all of a sudden, she changes. She says, "Are you sure I'm going to die?" And she says, "Yes, you're going to die. The doctor said it, and there's no way it can be saved." And she will tell, "It's not my kid. My husband said, we have been wanting a kid for such a long time. My disease did not allow me to have. So my husband said, some way or other I'll get a baby and then we'll run back to our village." And he said he'll bring it, and he never brought it. So she asked, "Whose kid is it?" He said, "His employer's kid." The employer is of the impression that the kid is safely in his place. It's employer's kid he brought down. So she asked this question, "Okay, where is the kid and the husband?" And she will say, like, this husband and the kid is because the police was after it and after them, and they didn't have the courage to come to the hospital if somebody will find it out and all those issues. So they are staying in a relative's place in this place. So Sandhya goes back. So Sandhya has two options: to go to the police and tell they were wrong because all their credential checked. Whether the lady is in hospital was true. Whether this guy was the employer of Yelahanga guy was true. And it was also true that he has given a shirt to this guy which he has collected earlier. But what the employer did not know was that his kid was taken and brought to the city. Now, this is the interesting portion. Now Sandhya goes and finds this person with a kid. Now, what should Sandhya? I mean, that's where I want to end the story. What should Sandhya do? What will be your opinion? Sandhya has multiple options. One is like this guy is kidnapping a child and trying to run away to North India, a 9-month-old child, and I have a child. Sandhya has a child, and what will she do if somebody does that to her child, to her? So one option is to take this guy to the police. So there are multiple options. And I just want to hear your voice in terms of what would be a good way to end the story. This is where the real situation and my touch of changes have taken me. And I have an ending which I had planned. But before that, I want to hear from you. Then you have to very clearly rationalize, because when I say this is the ending, people should not say like, no, that looks like a Hindi movie ending. No, finally, the villain always loses. The villain with 1,000 people and the latest guns with 2 seconds. Hero with just his fist. It doesn't work out. So it has to be reasonable, rational, and it should make every reader feel that okay, that's okay. That's one okay ending. Yeah, please.
Oh, guys, she would go to the laborer's employer and tell story, like this is what is happening.
Okay, so the suggestion is she could go to the laborer's employer and explain the whole story. And okay, let me ask you one more question. What would you have done if you were the employer? Right, that your child was kidnapped and almost ready to be parted to some part of the country which you don't know, and has been sitting in a police cell with the food, milk, nothing for 5 hours just because this guy took the arrest. As an employer, what you would have done? Would you have been happy and would you have been angry? You feel an injustice has been done to you, this guy. Listen, please, what
Yeah, initially, naturally, you'll be angry, but then maybe you can't be angry for a long time. You can't be angry because it won't work out that way. So you have to be calm and composed. Only then things will work out that way. You can't panic at the time, right?
Right. Now, but here's the quick, you got a quick back. Now, you have to also see.
No, he hasn't got a kickback as yet. Only that lady has got, because he will be skeptical, whether she's saying the truth or not. It may not be. But he'll have to go and find out whether it's true or not.
Okay, so I got one opinion. What else? Any?
Just hold the mic to your mouth so that everybody can hear. I'm speaking from the mother's point of view and employer's point of view. If I would have first of all called up my wife and found out where is Akhil at this point.
Yeah.
And
That they should have done earlier.
Yeah.
He didn't do that. But he has so much of trust in the neighbor.
okay.
So he doesn't even suspect that his kid is the one who is taken away.
9 months and like not being seen for a couple of hours.
They were, these are some of the things I need to iron out because and as a sure they are both working and they have this rush of Never is showing he composed in the first morning. So he is and he doesn't know that this guy has a boy of the day, but he has asked for a job from that side. So he assumes that he has a boy. So he assumes that he has a boy. So employer is fairly happy that his kid is in the profession. That's assumption.
Oh, I have a question. How old is he?
6 to 9 months.
9 months.
Not only enough for you to ask, is it your father?
Okay, so taking off from there, I would have, if I'm thinking if the lady is at the hospital now and she's with the patient or she just left the patient, she could wait there because the next thing that's going to happen is the man who's been released from the police station is going to come with the baby to the hospital because he doesn't know that his wife is going to die, from what he said. So she could wait for him there, and when he comes, then she could negotiate with him. Tell him that now I can do 2 things. I can either report you again, and now you are in a hospital environment. I've already told people that you're going to be expected to know you're here, you can't run away. She too will be protected. He can't do anything to her because she's in a safe environment where there are people around. And she can tell him that his wife is going to die, and so this whole happy ending he had planned will not really happen. So it's best that he hands over the baby to her. So she takes charge of the baby right away, secures the baby. And then he, of course, he has to deal with the fact that his wife is going to die anyway. So hopefully we will see the sense in handing over, not be. She doesn't want to traumatize him any further because he has a dying wife. And then now if he'll be put in jail, so she says, she reasons with him and says this might be the best thing. Give it to me, give the child to me, and then you continue with dealing with your grief and the issues here. And then she should move away and then give it back.
So you are going to allow him?
Subvert the system. Somewhat, because you're talking about Bangalore and the realities here. So, not get him into the whole police system and get everybody involved and return the child.
Okay, so that's a good thought. So you are allowing him to go to court free. You are going to tell him die.
Because his wife is dying.
Okay, so that's another.
Ashok, there's a problem with the logic. Because both of them. I can speak loud enough without the mic. Is that okay? Go ahead, yeah. There's a problem with the logic. Both of them came out of the police station, right? Okay? So where did this guy go? She went to see the wife. And he didn't.
He didn't. So that's why the wife says he didn't come because he's scared police will again catch him. And he called up and said like he's not coming. He promised me he will bring a kid and he's not coming. That's what the wife says.
So he's disappeared from the police station. And he's disappeared from his wife's life also.
No, that wife knows where he is holed up. So what I said was Sandhya will go to the place where he is holed up and catch him with the kid. That's where I was talking and she gave a twist that either way it's fine. I mean, there's really much of a difference. But the way I was looking at was he's so scared to come back to the hospital because anytime the police will realize and he doesn't know his wife is going to die. So anytime the police will realize and they will come to the hospital. So it's better that he keeps away. That's the assumption he has. But wife, when he calls up the wife and says, I will not come today, I'm going to call up in this particular place and be available there. That's the way he lives.
Right. Can they afford a mobile?
But
Can they afford a mobile? How is...
no, so he calls from a booth. But obviously he's not carrying it.
She's dying,
He doesn't know if she's there.
If she's in such a bad state and she's bedridden, I'm asking about the logic of the story.
So, has cervical cancer, she's not bedridden. So,
No?
okay, no.
She's dying today.
Good, nice.
No, today. That's what I said.
She's dying.
Yeah, she's dying that day, that very day, right?
Cervical cancer can lead to, it's one of the biggest killers in the world for women. That's the truth. It kills. But it doesn't mean that you cannot talk or anything. You can be on the bed, but in the hospital you can call and you can get connected. That's something which is not much of an issue.
Yeah, so she-
I want to modify what I said in that case.
Yes.
Then she could
No, but the food in the convent might.
If he has not been told, if I want to modify that, then in that case, if he has said that he's not going to turn up, then this lady can put pressure on the woman who's dying, saying that call him up and tell him that he has to come because there's some news which is very important regarding her health. So it draws in there, inevitably. Then the last.
Either way, it's fine. So I said is that wrinkle will not make much of a difference. And I understood that the way you perceive that and we understood. That's fine.
I was sorry. I just wanted to complete data. Give me a second. No, I don't want to write. Just complete what I started. She shouldn't try to be a hero. Let the cops handle it.
That's what I wanted. So he has a point. Because he's saying she should not take law into her hands. Let the cops, let the justice, let the judiciary decide. If you were to drop all the cases where cops have already made a hash of it, you would have dropped every case.
So I was.
But you did say that he took the baby back to the employers.
No, I didn't say that. He is holed up in a place with the baby. He hasn't decided. So there is an unknown. You don't know what he is going to do with the baby.
So I have one ending.
That's a filthy ending.
What was a filming? Okay, I don't know if I'm saying the same thing, but one thing I was just thinking was that the lady who was going to the class, your wife was here. So they also have a child.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking that maybe like one ending, maybe is that what she'll go and meet the laborer and the child and tell him, look, you've been doing something wrong. I've got what you're trying to do, and this is wrong. I'm giving you only one option. You should take this child back to your employer, and your wife is dying, and this is the only option that you got. She's really looking.
No, I wouldn't take those chances. I wouldn't take those chances.
No,
How secure the baby first?
So I'm going to take my child. This is the last moment in her life, and I'm going to take her there.
And you will not bring police into it.
And yeah.
Can I say
I would
something
take
in my
those
defense? No, all authors, please, I need to get up. Let's put some faith in the system. Let's give them some faith.
Have you ever reported?
I was in the army.
Have you
So,
reported any?
no, I'm
Have you ever
telling you.
reported?
No, these are the professionals. Come on, we have
Have you-
1 crore
have you ever
Bangaloreans.
asked-
Yes,
have you
yes, I
ever-
have.
Filed
Nothing
an
has
FIR?
happened. Okay, no positive result. Agreed. But still, would an author, would you ask an author
Yeah.
to say, yes, thank you.
This is really getting
No. What my question is, as authors, should we show a dilapidated law enforcement agency, or put some faith and say, okay, she reported, and then maybe she decides to do something. Okay. Did you say that? No. First time we did. She did. I'm saying she reports
And
again.
he did, he said that it's not his jurisdiction to go to another place, so already it's such a big
But this is more
deal.
serious now. Now it's confirmed that the baby has been kidnapped, right?
Yes.
Now, do we report a kidnap or not? That's the point, right?
Right.
Okay. I say we report a kidnap. We report a kidnap, put some faith, maybe the police will not be able to catch that, is a different thing, but we still do what is right.
She said she reported it and everything.
She initially reported and police found it wrong, but now she has new evidence which says it's actually.
She has to go back. She cannot be Sherlock Holmes. Or Tokyo's Bakshi or whatever. Unless you want to create a character which is that.
Now let me also add to that point. When everyone says anybody wants to go back to the place, you are essentially saying that the judicial system in this country does not, it's not adequate. It doesn't take.
No, as a mother, I will take chances. Yeah, yes. As a mother, I will take chances.
No, but it's the police force. There are 1.5 lakh people.
With no brain.
Are you saying a mother has more capacity to find than the whole entire police force? No.
Okay, can I give a little dimension of change to this whole discussion of a real life incident which Marion and I faced in Bangalore. She went with the car, my father's car and her father-in-law, and she goes to give food to the children in the afternoon. St. Anthony's, Convent Road. Comes out lunchtime, the car is not there. Then she calls me. I rush from JC Road, we look around for the car, we go to the police station, it was just around the bend. We make a complaint. And the police are very cautious that, are you sure of the number, do you have the RC book and all this thing? And we left it at that. And my father says, don't worry, they'll take care of it. So, nothing happened that afternoon, nothing happened that evening. And I said, this won't happen this way. So what we did is we took another car and we went round in circles to see if we could spot the car.
It was my father-in-law's car.
So, now what happened is, a day and a half later, we are shocked to find the same red Fiat car parked on Dickinson Road. Now what should I do? Should I inform the police in Commercial Street or inform the police in Ashok Nagar? No, I did the right thing. I had a spare key. I said, there is no more that we are going to inform the police. It's our car and we are going to drive it home. And after we drive it home, we are going to inform the police that we found our car. Thank you very much. But after some time, we returned the car to my father and we had our own car and it was okay. But then the story goes on that somebody comes and tells you you have to come to court.
No, not somebody. The police came and rang the bell.
And third time.
Good afternoon, madam. You have taken the car after filing the FIR. It is still part of the whatever
System.
Yeah. So you have to come to court. I said, no, what for? I got my car, I'm not coming. Then we will have to take you bodily. And you will be taking it and you will be insisted on taking me. You said I had to come to the police station, I had to speak. Can you see what happened? And then finally we had to go to court where there was this man who was standing like this. I swear he cannot ever drive a car. And he was supposed to be the one who brought my car.
So the question was asked is, can you identify whether this man robbed your car?
Yeah, that was the question. I said yes. I said yes.
No, I'm sorry. What you said is, I do not know this man, but I know my car and I know we found it. So does that answer your question? Do you believe that if you left it alone, you could get your car back? Do you believe that if you left it alone, the child would be found?
No. They found the laborer and the child the first time. What makes you think they'll not find them again? They found them the first time. Why? Just in the afternoon they found, right?
Yeah.
So in the scenario where you take custody of the child
And a second, okay, let's not be right. You know what happened?
But let us say something.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
No. It's becoming messy and an idea.
Time is now.
Really excited. Yeah, one at a time, please.
I'll answer one question here. Because the question is, why would the laborer be scared now that he is released from the police to go to the hospital? The laborer knows that it's a kidnap case, and laborer is scared that the police might find any time.
The minute you see a car.
So that's why even it is right.
It is very hard with the kid, it is hard with the baby.
We all as citizens have also some duties that we have to perform at an instant. We are called upon to do what is right within the system. And sometimes on the road, when you have an accident, you're going to just say, no, I'll call the police and the police see, and then you have to do an act of citizenry there. And you have to, your civic duty at that point is to do the right thing in that situation. And
That's
this
what I'm
is-
saying.
Yeah, so when you, in my scenario, just a very nice scenario, that if she secures the child, the idea that she secures what she, after persuading him about the death and so on, and she secures the child, then she can take him to the police station and take the child to the police station, involve the police station, or even at the hospital, she can ask the nurse, call the police station, call them here, and then hand over the child. All of that can be involved later, but the important thing is to secure the child in a way she knows will happen, because she's standing there and she knows some truths about the death, she knows about him, she knows she can make this happen. So there has to be a balance between what the police can do and what we as citizens have to also try to do. We can't leave everything to them, at the same time we can't take the law in our hands. Somewhere in between.
What
So I
I'm
have
saying,
a mix of ideas on whatever he said. I think to a great extent what he said was right, because since you have the opportunity, there's a way to show that you can instill faith in the system. At the same time, not glorify her as a hero. At the same time, let her bring about the decision. So what she can do is try and tell the employer that you need to come to this hospital without telling anything. I have some important news about your baby, and then try and get the laborer to come there by giving the information that his wife is unwell. So he's going to rush there with the baby, irrespective of whatever, and she's going to say, "I'm not going to do anything." At that point, since you said Sania's character is, she tries to do what she likes to do, but she's going to consult you. You can actually create a situation where she calls you and says, I don't have faith in the system even though I complain, or you say there's no faith in the system. So you can bring about all these aspects that everybody said, and she lets the employer decide the course of action. So the laborer is there, employer is there, she's done her bit getting everybody together. It's like the climax scene, and she lets the employer decide whether he wants to call the police or no. So she's done her bit, and you can just tie up everything and bring faith in the system or remove the faith from the system in the world. That's what I think.
as authors.
Yeah, as an author.
As authors.
As an author.
We should take a stand towards the system.
So I think she is
What you have kind of a okay, what do you have?
Okay, couple of things let me tell you before I reach what I was having in mind. So one is, I want each one of my readers to ask this question. If they were faced with this, they saw something not quite complete in a train, would they call the police? How many of you can put your hand on your heart and say, I would have?
What you said.
Okay, if you were in a situation like this, you were traveling in train and you were seeing a laborer carrying a kid, right? Do not fit it. How many of us would really call the police and file a complaint? And I can tell you, I want. That's why I'm very confidently asking you. And I am asking you.
Can I give you a real life?
Can I give you a real life incident?
Yeah, I wouldn't call the police and catch it myself.
See here, you realize what was wrong only after you got out of the station. You knew something was wrong, but it really occurred to you what was wrong when you got out of the station. So you cannot catch, you went back to catch, see whether the guy is there, you couldn't find. You don't question the guy.
You can actually. You're right about that.
It's so strange. If you notice, you have nothing to do. Okay, wait. If you notice the answers that are coming, Ashok, they come from different backgrounds. So Basil is a naval officer. So look at the way he thinks. And you are from the army. So look at how you think.
No, I'll tell you one thing. I was traveling from Mughal Sarai to Kashi in a train just after the Mumbai blasts. This was on January 3rd. No, December 31st, whatever year that was. And there was a lot of patrolling, there was a lot of security, even the trains. I noticed one, Muslim gentleman, and he was acting very funny, very fidgety. He was getting calls left, right, and center, and then he looked suspicious. Okay, and I had flown from here, from Bangalore to Bhubaneswar, and believe me, they checked everybody, including me. Made me take off my shoes and all that kind of security. And it was playing on my mind. And this guy looked suspicious. And then Mumbai thing happened on 26th November. And this was 31st December. So I got down at Kashi. I went straight to the railway police station, the railway police force, and I said, see, this gentleman here, I find something really suspicious. Okay? I said, well, and the train was traveling further. Okay, I said, this is what. And this is the seat number, and he looks like this, And the third day from that, I think 2nd Jan, I read in the paper that this guy was involved in the Purulia arms robberies. Okay, I didn't try to be a hero, whatever, because this guy really looked it. You didn't want to. He was not big or anything physically, but you just know. Women probably have a bigger, better instinct, but even you know that. And it had nothing to do with the Mumbai thing. It was a completely different case. He said, what should I have continued in the train and fought with him? No, sir, I didn't want to do that. Because I was going to Banaras for 1st Jan. There was a puja in the temple and all, which I wanted to do. But by reporting it, they really took action. Maybe because of the November background or whatever. But it did happen. So I'm saying, let's trust the system also. Also, I mean, you make her the hero, I have no problem. But as authors, as people who have something to give to the society, let's not take away. Let's not tell our children that don't believe in the cops, don't believe in the system, break the rules. I don't think that as an author,
break the rules.
doing the right thing back is to report something which is beyond you.
There is no breaking of rules here.
No, I said. Like, what I'm saying is, you could endanger the child if you try to be a hero. And that's a guy, he's desperate. What if you get hurt? What if the child gets hurt?
The child is already in danger.
Correct. But you, as a person, you provoke that, that character.
You're going to ask them, the woman is going to ask her husband to come there. It's not going to be this lady. It's the wife who's going to say, come with the child.
Correct. You can do all that, but it's still faith in the system, that's what I'm saying.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
You reported there is, but maybe they realized you're an army man, okay? They realized you're an army man, and so they investigated. For a common man, they may not do that.
No. I don't think that was really.
No?
In fact, I was grilled. And they started asking me questions, how scary it was. What is your, which regiment? What? I was not carrying my iPad. I'm now a journalist. Okay? Then they started, you said army, now you said journalist. Prove it. And then I said, I'm going to Hindi kaise bolte ho tum, and all that stuff. Believe me, I got scared. They were arrest me now. It was not that easy.
So you are faith in the system?
Yes, I do. We have to. It's a two-way street.
Since the book reading club, I want to divert a bit. I want to know if anyone here has read Aditya's book, The White Tiger. How would you like it? I didn't like it. As he says, faith in the system. This man in the book, he talks so badly about everyone in India. Doctors, lawyers, teachers, he doesn't have a good word for anyone about corruption. And not, he doesn't talk about corruption, he talks about the people themselves. And then it's also vulgar and manipulative. I'm not talking about pornography. The kind of play that comes on every time. And that man gives the book out. He's talking about
Can I bring in a wise word? You play with here, you show the thumb dot, you become with it. If you want to be recognized,
the book about that. The book.
Yes, if you want to be recognized internationally, ma'am, throw the end of it. You know that problem, but I've been trying to find the system, it doesn't work. You show the entrepreneur in the UPM. Right? Faith in the system will be alone.
So let me
Can we give Ashok a chance or give a defending?
So that brings to the question, why do I write the story? And I write the story because I wanted to ask a few questions. And that's what I have been asking. Now, first question in this story I would ask is like, I asked the question, how many of us would really go and report this incident in the first place? Because every day we come across such incidents. You see a car driving very fast with all colors, all black tinted glasses. And you might, someone definitely have this intuition that something is wrong. You let it go. Even if the traffic policeman is standing next to you, you will say, no, you don't go there. So that's reality. And I, as an author, I want, when I write stories, I leave these questions in between because I want people to ask themselves. If I were in that position, what would have I done? And I want them to disagree or agree with the protagonist. As is the case. So in this case, this was one question, what would have I done? That's the first question. Second question is, when the police calls up and says, this guy is genuine, and ma'am, so shall we let him go? Again the question comes, would you have gone and thought about like the day lost one day later, so Sandhya, it's not her duty, but Sandhya as a mother thought that it didn't have anything, he couldn't go, probably didn't have money. She doesn't know about the other issues which he is facing. But she still thinks it's her duty to, make good whatever mistake she has done. And it was a genuine case, and then he lost his state thing. So she goes to police station. So the question I want to ask the readers is, what would they do? Would they have gone their own ways, their own lives, and they don't worry about what happens to the man? The third is, after she gets out and she realizes in the police station that this guy's wife is in danger, and she assumes that okay. And she might, obviously this guy doesn't have any money, and she might need some money. Let me go and see what I can do. Again the question, will we do that? And all those aspects, if that makes her as a hero, portrays her as a hero, then I think she has a right to be heroic to extent. So I will build my character in such a way that she does things which I want to. If I, Ashok, was to bring this place, I would not have done any of it. I would not have gone to the place, it's not none of my business. I would not have gone and paid money to that place. I would not have gone to the hospital necessarily. So that makes her hero. I don't say Rajnikant is a hero, but it makes her hero. She walks a path which is different in every single stage. And I want the reader to feel that she is doing something which I would not have done. But she is doing something which I wish I would have done. Then I bring her to the stage where she has to make this decision. What do I do? And first thing, she's a mother. She is not very comfortable leaving the kid with that guy. So she takes care of the kid first. So she doesn't care whether the police is that. First the kid has to be taken care of. So she takes the kid first. This is the way I was trying to tell the story. So she takes the kid first. Now she has two choices. The kid is in her hand. She can go to the employer, tell all the story, and she doesn't know. It goes out of her hand. Because then what happens next is not her hand. But she feels for the lady who is dying, who never had a kid, who always wanted a kid, and the loving husband who wanted to give her a kid by, the husband need not take her by, by other actions, whatever he has done. It is only his love for his wife who is something to make her a kid that he is trying to give a kid. So she thinks from that lady's perspective, and a lady who is dying does not want to see her husband in her last moments in the prison or whatever. So she makes a decision that she is not going to go and tell the police. Now she goes back to the employer and gives the kid, and again go to the police. So what she does is, she takes the kid and she doesn't want to take the laborer along because the laborer is worried about this one. He takes the kid, takes him to the crash where he was picked up, lives with her, and then the parents came, nothing has happened. And the kid will not tell, somebody had taken me.
Suppose he's harmed the child. Suppose he's harmed the child.
It's not that she goes to the police and takes the child.
Are you glorifying kidnapping there?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not glorifying kidnapping. I'm glorifying her civic sense in calling the police.
He can kidnap and that's it. Fine.
That's where
He should be punished. Nobody can go to jail.
authorities know that the time to pick up was a labor. That's how. They don't suspect that they some other person is coming out. No, but that's the issue that probably I need to handle it. I want to do this. But the way I was looking at it, and so I'm not saying that that's the right thing. But what I'm saying is I took a character who did these three things which are heroic from the individual's perspective, and she earns the right to do something which I'm sure like.
So I like your ending. He must go to jail.
So once Sandhya takes over the child, she has the child, so she knows what is needed for the kid, and that's it, taking care. I completely agree that every story of mine I would give you endings which you don't agree with. That's the idea. But I want every reader to ask this question. Once in a while, like, this guy is doing this, what would have I done if I were there? And this book, whatever stories that I try to leave in question, that is a lot of layers. And every one of them can result in a heated discussion, and none of the answers are right. And I don't think none of the answers are wrong either.
So can we kind of wrap this up? It's been a very interesting evening. Thank you, Ashok, so much. What's wonderful about all our authors is that each one comes up with something different, makes the evening so different for us. I had read most of Ashok's stories and I thought, okay, I'll prompt him, but there's been so much, and I told you, we've got a reading audience, a thinking audience, so you do have enough, to change your story around, maybe, I don't know. I'm just hoping.
Absolutely, I think I got to see, I was always seeing my side of the story. Now I'm seeing how my readers will react, and especially when they think about the situation and they place themselves in that, I can see different reactions. And all these are useful because my character will think about all his possibilities. And if any of you have attended Jeffrey Archer's session in Landmark, he said, like, you get your protagonist in the most difficult situation, and if you don't find a way to come out of it, you make this situation even worse. And then when you find a way to get out of it, people will think, aha. So this is a scenario where I got a lot of conflict inputs, and I will make Sandhya to analyze each one of them in her mind. And so she will get into a much worse situation because everyone has got its pluses and minuses, and she makes a decision. And then if I can get the readers to agree with that decision, at least like 70-80% of the readers, and then probably that story will succeed. So it's a great experience for me. It is wonderful. I got a lot of insights into something that I started with.
Got a videographer here also.
I'll go say hi.
Sorry. Yeah, you can go ahead. Yeah, no problem.
Please take it. Sorry. I want to do that. And I've got
Jumping the line, terrible.
I know, very bad.
No, but she was smart. She got the book in advance.
Thank you.
No,